Good day, everyone. Today, we are going to learn about the principles of universal design for learning guidelines.
Principles of universal design for learning guidelines. First, let us have the definition of the universal design for learning. It is a set of principles for curriculum and assessment development that provides all students with equal opportunities to learn. UDL provides a blueprint for creating instructional goals, methods, materials, and assessments that work for everyone, not a single or one-size-fits-all solution, but rather flexible approaches that can be customized and adjusted for individual needs. UDL's three principles are based on a neuroscience research which has identified three primary neurological networks that impact learning. These are the engagement, representation, and action and expression. The UDL guidelines provide checkpoints that guide educators in the development and implementation of UDL curricula and assessments. These guidelines serve as a tool with which to create and minimize barriers inherent in curricula and assessments as educators aims to increase opportunities to learn. So this effective networks is also an engagement, the recognition networks as representation, and the strategic networks as the action and expression. The effective networks answers the why of learning, recognition networks answers the what of learning, and the strategic networks answers the how of learning. So the engagement provide options for self-regulation, provide options for sustaining effort and persistence, provide options for recruiting interest. Next, we have the representation. It provide options for comprehension, provide options for mathematical expressions and symbols, and provide options for perception. And lastly, we have the action and expression. It provide options for executive function, provide options for expression and communication, and provide options for physical action. Universal Design of Assessment, or the UDA, is based on the same concepts as UDL, with a goal to increase access for the widest range of students possible and to accurately understand what students know and can do. The National Center on Educational Outcomes, or the NCEO, proposed 7 elements to increase assessment validity and accessibility. First, we have the inclusive assessment population. Second is precisely defined constructs. Third is accessible, non-biased items. Fourth, amendable to accommodations. Fifth, simple, clear, and intuitive instructions and procedures. Sixth, maximum readability and comprehensibility. And lastly, we have the maximum legibility. Why consider the principles of universal design to develop assessments? Accessibility is a key element in every phase of assessment system development and implementation. Central to the goals of an innovative assessment system is understanding how the provision of meaningful, research-based accessibility strategies and accommodations result in the accurate demonstration of broad representations of knowledge and thus support valid inferences for all students. UDL provides flexibility in the ways information is presented, in the ways students respond or demonstrate knowledge and skills, and in the ways students are engaged. Applying the principles of UDL to assessment development provides guidance in creating assessment materials that reduce barriers, optimize levels of challenge, and minimize the need for additional accommodations for students. Embedding the principles of UDL in the development and implementation of assessments addresses an important component of an inclusive system of assessments. How does one use the principles of universal design to develop assessments? Understanding the characteristics of the students taking the assessment is one of the first steps in the application of UDL principles to inform the design of each item and to minimize the need for adaptations and accommodations for students to access the measured construct. The UDL approach focuses the development of items for all students and construct relevant content such as the knowledge, skills, and abilities intended to be measured, minimizing the impact of construct irrelevant skills such print size, lack of assistive technology device, inability to engage with the items, and considering appropriate accessibility options. As stated by Thurlow, Lazarus, Christensen, and Sheehan, accessible assessments are used to allow all students to show their knowledge and skills in the same challenging content.
That's all for today. I hope that you've learned a lot about the principles of universal design for learning guidelines.